energy and juice to the offense. Can that help the defense if that happens?
Well, for sure. The energy's contagious. And the way we preach, that's one of the things that we preach. We preach physical toughness, physicality on defense. We preach effort, and we preach, energy and enthusiasm and those kind of things. So, yeah, certainly that stuff's contagious. I feel like when we do a good job of that, it can be contagious to the offense, and I would expect the same. It would be a lift for us too.
What do you make of Minnesota's offensive line? They're a fifth alignment in 5 games.
Yeah, they probably don't get a lot of sympathy from our guys, do they? Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, injuries are part of the game, and it's opportunity for some guys to step up and see what they can do. It's up to us to try to exploit those matchups. That's a big part of the game. Usually, as our defensive line goes, we go. They're the tempo setter for us. They're the people that we lean on to be our engine. And if they can capitalize on some of those matchups, all the better for us.
It looks like Carson Wentz is going to start for those guys. JJ didn't practice again today. So what are you seeing in Carson, and what do you guys have to be accounting for?
Yeah, veteran quarterback, been around a long time, big arm, has good weapons. Getting Addison back last week really helped them. Obviously Jefferson, but Hawkinson, and Mason's a good running back, so even though they've had some injuries, they still got a lot of talented guys, and he does a pretty good job of getting the ball in those playmakers' hands, and we'll have to play our best to come out with a win.
How do you use Jefferson?
Well, I think he's been in the league 6 years. He's 4-time All-Pro. Is that? You guys have to fact check me on that. That's pretty unique, there's some guys that are really good route runners. There's some guys that just have great hands. There's some guys that have really good run after the catch. Some guys have speed. Some guys have size. He's checking all those boxes. And then, the final check is productivity. And, everybody knows he wears number 18 and, it's easy to find him, but he's still able to be productive. Particularly when Addison was down early in the season when he was suspended, Jefferson really carried a load. So guys that can do that, we have a lot of respect for, but he's just a really, really good all-around player. And, we need to know where he is throughout the game, but particularly on third down. Yeah, I'll let Kevin talk about injuries. That's really not my thing. Nice try, though. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, well, you'll get it tomorrow then. An injury report will be out. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. We'll have I don't jinx myself. Hopefully, we'll have 11 on the field at all times. So.
Just from Miles's standpoint, obviously you guys were, held without a sack, but you got good pressure and everything that last game. But just how important, obviously, is it to have Miles out there doing his thing, and how does that trickle down to everybody else on that line?
Yeah, it obviously makes everybody better. It makes our coverage better. All those different things. There was a time, I can't remember what point of the game it was, maybe we were down 17 in the fourth quarter, and Miles was rushing, and I was just, in my mind, I saw him reach sack strip and pick it up and score, and all of a sudden, it's just like the week before, it's a 10-point game, and here we go, and he was literally inches away from that play. And again, he's still played good against the run. He was playing banged up a little bit in that game. But still able to be productive. But to get those sacks, to get those lost yardage plays, and then also the high percentage of turnovers when you're hitting the quarterback, like the interception that Denzel had was a direct result of what the guys did up front. Shelby cracked a stunt up front. Quarterback had a guy in his face. He had to elevate the ball high. Denzel did a really good job in the coverage we did overlapping, and we were rewarded with a turnover. So it all really goes down to pass rush, and even if you're not sacking the quarterback, if you're affecting the quarterback, making him throw before he wants to, or make him make errant throws, then it's it's part of it. Part of it goes. Wentz has fumbled a lot in his career, and we got to be aggressive at the ball when we're in the pocket there, because there's going to be opportunities there.
I know the final score was what it was, but how did you grade out the run defense against that Detroit Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, we gave up 100 yards. I mean, hard to be happy about that. If you really sort of fine tune it, half of the running game came on 2 plays, but it all still counts. I mean, that's sort of the flip side of what I always say. Like, you get a tackle for a loss for -5 and you get a sack for -5. It's the same thing. Well, you give up a 23-yard run or 23-yard pass, it's still the same thing. So we weren't happy with that. We didn't do a good enough job protecting our edges on Gibbs. I thought we did a good job against Montgomery, but didn't do a good. And we were ready for the trick play. They tried to reverse, and we were able to get that, but gave Gibbs too many opportunities, and he's a tough guy to handle in the open field, and he's a little bit like a knockout boxer. You can be holding him off, and all of a sudden, he hits you with one, and it's a knockout, and that's the way that game sort of went. We were holding him, and then all of a sudden, he's hitting us with a couple haymakers, and I thought that really flipped it. So certainly not happy with that. We got to get back to that. Good challenge this week. I'm seeing a lot of wide zone from Minnesota, so hopefully we can correct some of that stuff from last week and put a better performance out this week.
Going back to those takeaways, having 2 back-to-back games, how beneficial has it been for momentum for the defense, and knowing, like you said, that how Wentz plays and he's fumbled and threw 2 interceptions last week?
So important for our offense with momentum, or?
No, for defense, for you guys, just.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that certainly can feed. I mean, turnovers certainly give you energy. We obviously made the 1 interception. I consider a 4th down stop a turnover also. I mean, it's in the definition of turnover on downs. That was a big spot at that point of the game to keep it there. But yeah, there's nothing that really gets your energy going, your momentum going, then lost yardage plays, turnovers, big 3rd down stops, big hits. All those things are contagious and have some good carryover for us.
What does Addison bring? One more. What does Addison bring to their pass? I apologize if you guys answer sorry. What does Addison bring to that pass game for them?
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed, and he's a guy that can win one-on-one. He did last week on a couple plays. I mean, he went right in and 114. I want to say 100. You guys always got to fact check me. I think it was 114 yards. So right away was productive. Young player, but he's got a lot of experience now over the last few years, and definitely brings a speed element to him.
Playing off of Jefferson. I mean, how does they sort of play them off?
Yeah, I mean, and Hawkinson has something to do with that inside. He's a good tight end. But obviously, you put too much attention on Jefferson, then Addison's a guy that can hit a home run. If you put too much on him, then Jefferson's there. So having 2 guys, obviously, to be able to play off each other and try to command the coverage, that goes a long way.